welcome ladies and gentlemen. You're watching 6 Stories at 6 with me, Tanisha Avasthi. Here are the 6 stories that have set the agenda for today. The Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in the national capital has unfortunately become more famous and infamous for its embarrassing infrastructure failures than for the on-court action. The next story that we're tracking is about how a heartbreaking tragedy struck in Greater Noida after a techie fell into a ditch. His last call to his father said, "Papa, I am stuck and I don't want to die." And with upcoming elections in the state of West Bengal, the Prime Minister has launched a fierce campaign and has also warned against infiltration threat in the state. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister was also in Assam today, where he launched a direct attack on the Congress party. We'll get you that big statement. Our next story, we get you the details from Karnataka, where women officers were verbally assaulted by power-drunk Congress leader. And we will also tell you how the world is condemning Trump for his call to buy and take over Greenland. 6 stories that we will be getting you in this broadcast, starting first up with the top story. The India Open 2026, a prestigious BWF Super 750 badminton tournament held at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in the national capital from January 13th to 18th, has unfortunately become more infamous for its embarrassing infrastructure failures than for the on-court action. Under the global spotlight, the event has been plagued by reports of bird poop disrupting matches multiple times, including halting a men's single clash between India's HS Pranoy and Singapore's Loh Ken Wei twice, and even affecting a women's doubles semi-final alongside sightseeings of a monkey in a stand, filthy washrooms with unbearable stench, broken chairs, scattered garbage, cigarette butts, and general unhygienic conditions. These basic hygiene and maintenance lapses at a high-profile international event have drawn widespread criticism, turning what was meant to be a showcase into a glaring display of sporting shame and raising serious questions about India's readiness to host elite global competitions. Here's why Indira Gandhi International Stadium, we say, is not fit to play.
Global event, global embarrassment. The sorry state of affairs of India's sports infrastructure needs no curtain raiser. It is right there, out in the open, for international players to experience in the national capital. A men's singles pre-quarter final was interrupted twice after bird droppings landed on the court during India Open 2026 Super 750 badminton tournament. But now another incident hangs India's head in shame. A women's doubles semi-final match was halted after pigeon droppings fell onto the court from above at the Indira Gandhi Stadium. Visuals of the stadium is a blot on India's reputation. India, which is betting to host Olympics in future. An exclusive ground report by Republic TV exposed the ground reality. Broken chairs in stadium, filthy washrooms, broken concrete lying around, garbage inside arena, monkey hovering, stray dogs lurking. Take a look at all of these visuals.
भारत के सबसे जाने माने स्पोर्ट्स वेन्यू यानी इंदिरा गांधी स्टेडियम के ठीक बाहर की मेरी मौजूदगी है, जहां पे इंडियन ओपन बैडमिंटन टूर्नामेंट चल रहा है। आपको तस्वीरें दिखा तो गेट के बाहर आप देख सकते हैं, यहाँ पे पूरी तरह से जो स्वागत के लिए जिस तरह से बोर्ड्स लगाए जाते हैं वो भी यहाँ पे लगे हुए हैं। लेकिन इस बीच अगर हम बात करें इंडियन ओपन बैडमिंटन टूर्नामेंट की तो यहाँ पे काफ़ी बवाल भी देखने को मिल रहा है। दरअसल यहाँ पे प्री क्वार्टर फाइनल मैच में 2 बार पक्षियों की बीट गिरने की वजह से जो है इस मैच को रोकना पड़ा है। इसी के साथ कुछ दिन पहले अगर हम बात करें तो जहाँ पे दर्शक बैठते हैं, दर्शक बैठ के गेम्स देखते हैं, लुत्फ उठाते हैं, वहाँ पे भी बंदरों की वजह से भी एक बार गेम को रोकना पड़ा था। कुछ दिन पहले की ही बात करें तो कुछ बैडमिंटन एसोसिएशन ऑफ इंडिया के ने जो है डेनमार्क की जो शटलर है मिया ब्लिचफेल्ट ने उन्होंने मना कर दिया था कि वो यहाँ पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा उन्होंने गंदगी की शिकायत भी की थी कि जब वो भारत यहाँ पे आई है, गेम खेलने आई है, तो काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंदिरा गांधी स्टेडियम में वो तैयारियाँ जो है उस हिसाब से नहीं की गई थी।
Meanwhile, Sports Minister is sitting quiet and unashamed. Republic TV demands government to place accountability. But just one statement has been issued so far from Badminton World Federation, saying that it has received the feedback and seasonal issues were not expected. At a time when India is aiming to be a global power and even host Olympics, the sporting infrastructure is in shambles. Will the Sports Ministry wake up and take accountability?
A heartbreaking tragedy struck in Greater Noida's Sector 150 on the night of January 17, 2026, when 27-year-old software engineer Yuvraj Mehta, who worked in Gurugram, lost his life after his car SUV plunged into a nearly 70-foot deep water-filled pit amid dense fog. Due to extremely poor visibility and complete absence of reflectors, warning signs or proper barricades along the hazardous service road drainage area, his car crashed through the damaged boundary wall or raised the ridge and submerged quickly. In his final moments, Yuvraj managed to call his father, Rajkumar Mehta, desperately pleading, "Papa, I've fallen into a deep pit filled with water. I'm drowning, please come and save me." There were bystanders, including a braid delivery agent who attempted a rescue by jumping in with a rope, heard his screams but couldn't reach him in time as the vehicle sank fully into the water. Despite a prolonged 5-hour rescue operation involving police, divers, NDRF and SDRF teams, his body was recovered hours later, sparking widespread public outrage and protest over repeated, ignored demands for basic safety measures at the site. Here's what happened and how this death happened because of laxity and lapses of the authorities.
A 27-year-old software engineer passed away in Noida in a tragic accident. This is as he, on Friday night, had his car collide with a drainage boundary near Sector 150 and fell into a deep ditch amid Noida's dense fog. The deceased, identified as Yuvraj Mehta, was returning home from work when this accident took place. The absence of reflectors on the road was the key reason identified for said collision, as his car crashed into a high ground ridge that separates two adjacent drainage basins, and his car consequently fell into a 70 feet deep ditch filled with water.
तस्वीरें हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं। शुक्रवार की रात को यहाँ पर ऐसी दुर्घटना घटित हुई। ये जो आप देख रहे हैं तस्वीरें, ये दीवार यहाँ पर टूटी हैं। दरअसल एक 27 साल का युवक, युवराज जिसका नाम है, मैं आपको कहूँगी एक बार तस्वीरें दिखाएं हमारे विजय को पीछे से। ये जो हाईवे और सड़क आप देख रहे हैं, यहाँ से इस तरफ से वो गाड़ी चलाकर अपने घर लौट रहा था काम से। गुड़गांव में ये कार्यरत है, युवराज कार्यरत थे, माफ़ कीजिएगा, जो कि अपने घर लौट रहे थे। रात का समय था। दिल्ली एनसीआर में आप जानते हैं कि इतनी कड़ाके की ठंड पड़ रही है कि धुंध में विजिबिलिटी एकदम शून्य है और उसमें कुछ भी दिखाई नहीं देता।
Yuvraj screamed for help as the car started to submerge into the waters. People passing by report. He even called his father in a cry for help.
He called me when he was there in that nala, dangerous nala. After cracking that wall, the car entered into that nala, and he was struggling for a long time, like 2 hours he struggled with life. Very cleverly, he escaped from inside a portion of the car and came on the roof of that car and lied on there. Then he switched on his mobile torchlight to indicate his exact location. To keep his courage on, I was continuously in talk with him कि बेटे हिम्मत रखो, हम लोग हैं, हम लोग उपाय लगा रहे हैं. और यही मैं तो तड़पता रहा वहाँ पे.
And while the local police, divers, and the National Disaster Response Forces arrived at the scene promptly thereafter and initiated the rescue operation. But it was only after 5 hours of effort that Yuvraj and his car were pulled out of the ditch when he was declared dead. Following the incident, Mehta's family filed a complaint alleging that the authorities had neither installed reflectors nor covered the drains along the service road. Widespread outrage consequently was sparked in the aftermath of this incident. Locals organized protests and shouted slogans at authorities claiming they had repeatedly demanded the installation of reflectors and signage on the service road, but no action was taken.
वो 12 बजे गिरा था और उन्हें हाथ भी जोड़ा, बेचारा रो रहा था बुरी तरह, नो बचाओ बचाओ, किसी ने बचाया नहीं. पुलिस वाले हम मौके पे खड़े थे, पुलिस वालों ने कुछ नहीं करा और देख रहे थे. अरे इतनी देर में तो रस्सी ला के कूद भी जाता, कोई बिगड़ तहरिया भी होता तो भी बचा लेता उसे.
कब की घटना है ये रात?
रात के 12 बजे की.
12 बजे की. और पुलिस कब पहुंची थी?
पुलिस वाले ऐसे आधे घंटा बाद आ गए थे, हम मौके पे खड़े थे, पुलिस वाले देख रहे थे सब और किसी ने बचाया.
उन्होंने बचाने के लिए नहीं गए?
हाँ सब खड़े थे वहाँ, कोई इसकी ना बचाने की कोशिश नहीं करी. एक फ्लिपकार्ट का आया था मोनी नाम का, वो ऑर्डर देने आया था ली ग्राउंड में, तब वो कूदा था.
मैंने और उसने मदद की. सीढ़ियों पर बैठ के दलदल में हमने रस्सा भी फेंका, उसको भेजा भी, पैरासूट पहन के. वहाँ फायर पुलिस भी थी और मौके पर सारी वारदात थी. तो NDRF ये पीछे आई थी 4 बजे, जब तक वो डूब चुके थे. 3 घंटे वो पानी में रहे और मदद की गुहार लगाते रहे और कोई प्रशासन वगैरह सारे लोग थे वहाँ पे.
पुलिस की टीम और फायर ब्रिगेड की टीम पहुंच चुकी थी 12 बजे.
हाँ जी,
उन्होंने मदद नहीं की?
मदद करने की कोशिश की पर पानी में कोई कूदा ही नहीं, किसी की साहस हिम्मत ही नहीं पड़ी.
This being the second such accident in 15 days only heightened the concerns of the local residents. Shortly after, the authorities filled the deep ditch with several tons of garbage and debris. And the Noida police soon put out a statement intimating the public of the accident and claiming that further action will be taken as investigation is yet underway. Local residents now await ownership, responsibility, and corrective action on part of the concerned authorities.
Prime Minister Modi today addressed a massive public gathering in Singur in West Bengal, ripping into the Trinamool Congress, alleging that the party had turned into the state what described it as a Maha Jangal Raj. Now, Prime Minister Modi launched this scathing attack, accusing the Trinamool Congress and Mamata government of supporting infiltrators for political gains, highlighting BJP's mega infrastructure push. The Prime Minister also spoke about centre's focus on development, saying that projects like Vande Bharat Express will significantly improve connectivity. Here's more on the story.
Prime Minister Modi inaugurated and laid the foundation stone and dedicated to the nation infrastructure projects worth rupees 830 crore in West Bengal. PM Modi flagged off 3 new Amrit Bharat Express trains along with 1 new passenger train service which aims at improving connectivity. Addressing a huge crowd in Singur, PM Modi highlighted the rapid expansion of rail connectivity in the state.
बंगाल को करीब आधा दर्जन नई अमृत भारत एक्सप्रेस ट्रेनें भी मिली है. आज 3 और अमृत भारत एक्सप्रेस ट्रेनें शुरू हुई हैं. इनमें से एक ट्रेन तो मेरे संसदीय क्षेत्र काशी बनारस की बंगाल से कनेक्टिविटी को और मजबूत करेगी.
Ripping into the Mamata government, he also said that Singur had only one demand, a clear desire to end what he described as Maha Jangal Raj. Drawing a comparison with Bihar, the Prime Minister said that the NDA had already shown the path of development and good governance, adding that the time had now come for West Bengal to follow the same path.
बीजेपी एनडीए ने बिहार में जंगल राज को एक बार फिर से रोका है। अब पश्चिम बंगाल भी टीएमसी के महाजंगल राज को विदा करने के लिए तैयार है।
Along with a path to development, he accused the TMC of endangering national security and alleges support to infiltrators. The Prime Minister alleged that the TMC was extending support to infiltrators for political gains, and such actions posed serious risk to the country's safety and future. He also alleged that the groups that were protecting these infiltrators were being provided patronage and fake documents.
टीएमसी ऐसे गिरोहों को संरक्षण देती है जो घुसपैठियों को सुरक्षा देते हैं, उनके लिए फर्जी डॉक्यूमेंट बनाते हैं। साथियों, समय आ गया है जब घुसपैठ को भी पूरी तरह रोकना होगा। और जो लोग बीते दशकों में फर्जी कागज बनाकर यहां घुल मिल गए हैं, उनकी पहचान करके उन्हें उनके देश वापस भी भेजना होगा।
The Prime Minister said that he was witnessing a sea of humanity in Shingur, and the enthusiasm and energy of the crowd were shaping a new narrative for West Bengal.
And it was not just Bengal, but the Prime Minister today was in Assam as well. And during his Assam visit, he said the Northeast now top a priority for central government. He highlighted infrastructure, growth, conservation efforts and accused the Congress of neglecting the region for decades. He even said that the nation has lost trust in the Congress party. Here is Prime Minister's reality check for the Congress party.
PM Modi said Assam's rail budget has increased 5 times under the BJP government, boosting rail connectivity with projects like Vande Bharat Sleeper and Amrit Bharat trains.
जिन 3 नई ट्रेन सेवाओं का शुभारंभ हो रहा है, वे भी असम की रेल कनेक्टिविटी में एक महत्वपूर्ण विस्तार है। वंदे भारत स्लीपर ट्रेन गुवाहाटी को कलकत्ता से जोड़ेगी। इसके साथ ही 2 अमृत भारत एक्सप्रेस ट्रेनों की शुरुआत की जा रही है।
He said the development of the Northeast strengthens national growth and brings the region closer to the country's mainstream. He also criticizes Congress for misgovernance for a number of years that led to the problem of illegal infiltration.
कांग्रेस ने दशकों तक असम में सरकारें बनाई। इस दौरान लगातार घुसपैठ बढ़ती गई। साथियों, कांग्रेस से आपको बहुत सावधान रहना है। कांग्रेस की एक ही नीति है, घुसपैठियों को बचाओ।
PM Modi said Assam has achieved zero rhino poaching in 2025 while expanding forest coverage and wildlife reserves, balancing development with conservation.
एक समय था जब काजीरंगा में राइनो के शिकार की घटनाएं असम की सबसे बड़ी चिंता बन चुकी थी। हमने इसके बाद सुरक्षा व्यवस्था को नए सिरे से मजबूत किया। वन विभाग को आधुनिक संसाधन मिले। 2025 में राइनो के शिकार की एक भी घटना सामने नहीं आई है।
PM Modi's address clearly reflects the mindset of government, that is to make India more inclusive.
Female officers no longer feel safe in the state of Karnataka. This after Congress leader Rajiv Gowda issued a death threat to a female municipal commissioner. Following this incident, another female officer had received death threats while inspecting the site where Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is to construct a model hospital, which is his dream project. Here is what happened and how the Karnataka government in Karnataka, the Congress government in Karnataka, beg your pardon, is receiving massive backlash for women's safety specifically.
A huge question mark has been put on the safety of women officials in the state of Karnataka. Congress leader Rajiv Gowda gave threats to a municipal commissioner officer that removed his banner, which was illegally put and caused accidents on that road.
Hello? Sir. Hello?
ಹಲೋ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಅದು ಬ್ಯಾನರ್ ಬಿಚ್ಚಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾನರು ಆ ರೋಡ್ ಕೋಟೆದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಂತೆ. ಅದೇನೋ ಗಾಡಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಗುದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರೋ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಅಪ್ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ಸರ್ ಒಂಚೂರು ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಬ್ಯಾನರ್ ಏನೋ ಬಿಚ್ಚಿದಿರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಂದ್ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹಚ್ಚಿಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಇನ್ನ ಒಳ್ಳೆತನ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ, ಕೆಟ್ಟತನ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸರ್ ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ, ಬ್ಯಾನರ್ ಬಿಚ್ಬಿಟ್ಟದು ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಅದನ್ನ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತೆ.
ತರ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಬೇಡಿ ನನ್ಗೆ.
ಸರ್ ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ಕೇಳಿ, ಅದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್, ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಂದ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ.
ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾನರ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕೀಳ್ತೀರಿ?
ಬ್ಯಾನರ್ ಕಿತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ತೆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದು ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಅದ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಗಳು ಬಿಚ್ಚಿರೋದು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗ್ದಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದನ್ನ
ಕಲೀಸ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬ ನಮಗು ನಾಳೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಓಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು ತಾಲೂಕಾ ಕೆಲಸ.
ಸರ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಅವರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳಿ, ಏನು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಬ್ಯಾನರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗಲ್ ಕಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದ್ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗು ಕಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಮಧ್ಯ ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
ಒಂದ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ
ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಅವ್ರ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಅದು ತಗೊಂಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು
ಕಟ್ಟಿದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದಾರಲ್ಲ.
ಯಾರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್? ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮವ್ರು ಜೈಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ಸ್ ಗಳು.
ಇರೋದ್ರ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಬಂದ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಬ್ಬರ್ಸ್ತೀನಿ ಜನನಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಂದು ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಚಪ್ಲಿಲಿ ಹೊಡಿಸ್ಕೊಬೇಕು.
ಎಂತಕ್ ಸರ್? ಯಾಕೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಕಟ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ತಗೋತಾರೆ? ಅದನ್ನ
ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆಯಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಎಲ್ಲ 31 ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಏನೇ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿದೆ, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಾರ್ಡಿಂದ ಎಬ್ಬರ್ಸ್ತೀನಿ ದಂಗೆನ. ಬಂದು ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಚಪ್ಲಿಲಿ ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಮನುಷ್ಯ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 31 ವಾರ್ಡಿಂದ ಕರೆಸ್ತೀನಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ.
Rajiv Gowda not only used an abusive approach to the situation but also threatened the municipal commissioner to set her ablaze and assaulting her, which created unrest. The matter has been reported to the police and have issued a show cause notice to Rajiv Gowda. The notice instructed him to provide a proper explanation within 1 week, otherwise the disciplinary committee will take strict action. Protesters questioned as to why no action has been taken against him and accused him of intimidating a public official and misusing his political influence. Due to this incident in Varuna, Karnataka BJP LOP Ashok alleges Jungle Raj in Karnataka. In this shocking incident, a local rowdy in Varna Hobli in Guduma Danahalli Gram started abusing Bhavya, a female officer. Officer Bhavya had gone to inspect the land identified for the construction of a Nimhans model hospital, the dream project of CM Siddaramaiah. She was bombarded with murder threats, which posed as a risk of further eroding the already sagging morale of the officers in the state. She was confronted by GM Puttaswamy, who was accused of having illegally developed an areca nut plantation on the site. Puttaswamy allegedly abused the officials using obscene language and issued death threats. An FIR was lodged which stated that Puttaswamy questioned the officials over the land allocation for the proposed hospital and allegedly threatened that the Tehsildar should be beheaded. He also threatened to kill the officer Bhavya on the spot. The police have registered a case against GM Puttaswamy for his heinous acts.
And moving on to the last story that is making international headlines, the transatlantic relationship is under severe strain this after United States President Donald Trump threatened sweeping tariffs on European goods, linking trade pressure directly to his demand over Greenland. Now, the European Union is now warning of a dangerous downward spiral as it considers countermeasures and talks on United States. European Union trade deal have been put on hold. Here's a detailed report.
What started as a political row over Greenland has now turned into a full-blown trade crisis. US President Donald Trump has declared 10% tariff on European nations because of their opposition to America's Greenland takeover. Trump says tariffs will remain until a deal on Greenland is reached. European leaders say this is economic coercion, not diplomacy. Denmark has called the threat surprising and unacceptable, and that Greenland is not for sale and Denmark will not bow to pressure. The European Union has issued a strong warning, saying Trump's move risks triggering a downward spiral that could damage global trade and destabilize alliances. As a direct consequence, talks on a new US-EU trade deal have been put on hold. The crisis has also sparked protests in Denmark and Greenland. People have taken to the streets with one clear message: Greenland is not for sale. Greenland's strategic importance is at the heart of the row. Rich in minerals and crucial for Arctic security, it has become a key geopolitical prize in the race for control of the polar region. France and other EU states have backed Denmark strongly. The message from Europe is clear: intimidation will not change their position. Experts warn that this row could impact NATO unity. The US and Europe are military allies, but this dispute is creating a rare and open rift. Economists say tariffs will hurt both sides. EU exports to the US could take a hit, while American consumers may face higher prices. What began as a Greenland controversy has now become a transatlantic crisis. Trade, diplomacy, security, and sovereignty are all colliding. As both sides dig in, the world is watching closely. This is no longer just about tariffs. It is about how far power can go in rewriting global rules.